Okay, what's up, guys? Haven't posted on YouTube in about 4 months. Was just posting TikToks, Now, since TikTok's getting banned, I have to get back on this platform. Um, but basically, this is just going to be pretty much like it's going to be like soft maxing, kind of Looksmaxxing guide. I'm going to make further to like kind of videos in the future for like actual Looksmaxxing. So, the three things I'm going to go over, not even three, probably like five. I don't even know. This isn't even scripted. I'm basically just talking off the top of my head. So, first thing we're going over is hygiene. Um, Probably going to put up a list here. So, first thing is hygiene, dude. If you do not have good hygiene, you're just, no girls are going to like you. When you walk in a room, people might smell you. You might just, it's not good. So, first thing that comes with that is get a good deodorant. I mean, I don't really care about the aluminum stuff. I just know I have high tests. That's not even like an egotistical way. I just like know that I do. Um, but if you don't, you can use something like Native, or you can use Base, but that's like really expensive. I wouldn't buy that. Um, and also make sure you have a good cologne. Okay, so like if we're talking summer, spring, fall, and winter, for summer, just use a fresh fragrance. I use Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue Summer Vibes, and that's a really good one. I got probably at least 10 compliments throughout summer, and I only had it for half of the summer, so I got about 10 compliments in like a month and a half, like maybe even a month. And for fall, I'd use something that's a little spicier, maybe like Spice Bomb, something like that. And for winter, use something like Strong With You Intensely, Tobacco Vanille. Tobacco Vanille is really expensive, but it's a really good fragrance for winter because it's really like masculine, and it's kind of like something old people would wear, but like a really like looks maxed old person, Um, and then for spring, I would just wear something fresh, masculine, like Bad Boy Cobalt. That's really good fragrance. Then summer, wear something really fresh, like I said, like Dolce & Gabbana is really good. Um, and then like I have Issey Miyagi, the Issey Pour Homme. That's a really good fragrance. It's really underrated. Nobody even knows what it is. Um, and you don't have to go with like an EDP. Honestly, if you go for an EDT in summer, it's really good because you're not gonna like if someone just gets close to you, they'll smell you. But like you don't want to smell like something from super far away because that's like not good in summer. And then next thing is really just like diet. If you're above 15% body fat and you're like, oh, why do I not have hollow cheeks? Like I almost do. In good lighting, I do. But you have to make sure that you're eating at least 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. Okay, and then you want to make sure you're eating in like at least a 500 calorie surplus. I do 1,000 calorie. I meant deficit. 1,000 calorie deficit because you'll lose fat very quickly. You won't lose muscle if you're doing it right. You just got to make sure you keep your fats at 0.3 grams to 0.5 grams per pound of body weight. So I'm 160, so I need about like 50 grams to about 80 grams a day, and that's good. And then you can keep your carbs around at 100 to 200. Don't try to go above like 200. That's not really necessary if you're trying to cut. That's just extra calories that you don't need because you don't need that energy because carbs turn into glucose and they're the most efficient form of energy, and you want to be able to lose energy by using fat, and fat's lost in a low intensity state. So if you just fast until like 3 p.m., you're going to start tapping into fat, but that's if you're carb depleted. So like the first week into cutting, if you're in a 500 calorie deficit, most people hold about 2 to 400 grams of carbs in their system. And once you start getting into a deficit, then you'll start losing those carbs and water. That's why you lose a lot of weight in the first week of dieting. So, yeah. And then you'll get into a lot of blocks throughout this progress, but after a month, it's going to be pretty easy, but don't do it over 8 weeks because then your hormones are going to crash and that's really bad for you. Um, and really about like diet, you just got to make sure you're eating whole foods. Don't eat a bunch of processed stuff. Don't eat seed oils. I don't care what the doctors say or whatever. They aren't good for you. And I cut out seed oils. I felt so much better. Cook in butter, grass-fed butter, and then cook in beef tallow. Beef tallow is really good. You can also put it on your skin, and I'll talk about that when I talk about skin. So, yeah. And then we can transition into skin. So you want to use a cleanser with vitamin C and vitamin A. Vitamin C is gonna kind of make blemishes disappear. It's good for pigmentation, and then vitamin A, it's blemishes. It's the same stuff. It's like fine lines and things like that. And then just use a toner. Use a good toner. It doesn't have to be that crazy. You can literally just get one at Ross for like $6. And then if you have oily skin, I'd use a non-comedogenic moisturizer. That's a really good idea. But then if you don't, you can just get a regular moisturizer. Or you can also use beef tallow. Beef tallow is a good idea. I just wouldn't do that if you have really oily skin because that is an oil. That's fat. But I mean, it could work. Sometimes it works for people, but I mean, I just wouldn't do it. And you got to make sure that you're washing your face in the morning and at night. So, I mean, if you work out during the day, you're gonna accumulate dirt, you're gonna accumulate sweat on your face, so you need to wash it at night. And then you need, in the morning, you just do the same thing as you do at night. You use a cleanser and then you use moisturizer. I don't even use toner in the morning. Most of the time I use it at night. I just kind of like moisturizes my skin throughout night, and I think that's good. And then also, let's go into working out. So you want to be doing cardio. I mean, you don't have to do it every day. Like, I used to do that, and it makes you really, really hungry. So, I mean, I do cardio about like 3 to 5 times a week. Sometimes I don't do it, but I go to the gym 6 to 7 times a week. And when you go to the gym, you shouldn't just be in there doing like 12 to 15 sets per workout. You want to stick between, like, for biceps, you want to do about 4 to 5 per workout twice a week, because you don't need as much stimulus for them since they're a smaller muscle. And then for back, you can do somewhere between 10 to 14 because it's a big muscle group, and you can train it about 3 times a week. So like 4 to 5 sets per workout. That works for me very well. But I also play water polo, which builds a good back. And then, chest. I personally, I do 5 sets, and I mean, if you want to get strong, like on bench and stuff, just like, you really can just do like incline bench. Like, I used to do that, and my chest grew just as much. You just gotta train really hard, and I wouldn't go above 12 reps. Honestly, the sweet spot for me, I mean, it's personal. For me, it's about 6 to 10. Once you get into 12, I feel like you get fatigued a lot quicker. But if you just go to failure in 6 to 10 reps, I usually hit about 8. It's a really good strength to stimulus ratio, and you can only do about 5 sets, and you'll get really, really tired, and you have to push to failure, because if you don't push to failure, you're going to be able to do more sets, but you might not grow as much because you're not pushing your body as hard, because muscle growth comes from, working really hard and actually it's not even breaking down the muscle fibers. It's just, I mean, it is, but like, it's just like, not even time under tension. Like, make sure your eccentric is about like 2 seconds, 3 seconds. It doesn't need to be like, just make sure it's like good. Make sure you're not swinging the weight. I saw a guy doing that. Dude, that was crazy. He was just like swinging it, dude. And I went up to him. I was like, yo, you should try to control. And he was like, okay, I'll control it. Okay. So just make sure you're controlling the weight. You're doing about 6 to 10 reps. Do 12 to 15 if you really want to. You can do that at the end of your workout just to get a good pump if you really want to, so you can pose. And then, if you're trying to gain muscle and you're already like 12% or below, that's what I'm about at 14% right now, and I'm trying to get down to about 10 to 12. And then I'm going to lean bulk for about a year. And, if you're Looksmaxxing, a lot of, like, I go to parties sometimes, and they're not even parties. They're just hangouts with my dad's friends, and all of them just say I'm super skinny. I'm like, you're 5'5", and I'm 6'1". Like, of course I'm gonna look skinny, but also I'm cutting, and each gram of carbohydrates holds on to 4 grams of water. And I mean, if you are holding on to about like 400 grams of carbs, you're gonna be holding like 5 to 7 pounds of water. So, yeah. And then, I mean, I'm gonna go in deeper Looksmaxxing stuff in future videos, but like, this is pretty much just a soft maxing. This will get you into like the sort of Looksmaxxing like niche, and like, Looksmaxxing has like a stigma around it, but I don't really think it's bad unless you're like getting like your bone smashing, which is just weird, and you're just like getting surgery. Like, that's some beta shit, dude. You shouldn't be doing that. You just gotta do it naturally, and like, don't hop on Tren or anything, because that's gonna mess with your skin a bunch, and it's not good for you. But yeah, basically, that was just a blab about like soft maxing. So I mean, I'll probably upload a video tomorrow, get back on this grind, stop posting on TikTok because it's getting banned. But yeah, peace out, guys.